Okay, this is Ken Margolis. It's Sunday, the 14th of March. It's the first day of the month of Nisan, which I believe is called the month of miracles, which means it's Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And now, Moshe Guy, take it away.
Okay, good evening. And today it's a very special day. It's the second day already of Chodesh Nisan. That this is called the king of the month. And it's called Nisan. It said that if you dream about someone that has two nun in his name, mean that his name like Natan or Netanyahu or Netanel, it's a very good sign. If you dream about someone that has two letter, the called letter Nun in his name, it's a very good sign. And it's come to say that Hashem had you had a miracle in your life. You don't know someone. It says that in Hebrew we say Baal hanes eno makir beniso, that the one that Hashem makes miracle to him, many times he doesn't know that he had a miracle. He doesn't feel it. He don't know what happened. I'll tell you a story from the Torah. It said that there was one person. He was a merchant, and he had to go to bring a merchant from across the sea, and there was a ship that was waiting for him. Many people were on this ship, and he woke up a little bit late, and he decided to short the way, to make a shortcut through the fields, and then he stepped on a nail, and he fell down, and of course he missed the ship, and he was very, very sad about it. He was in bed for a few weeks, and at the end he could walk on his leg, and he walked around on the namal, on the namal, how you say in English, namal, it's like on the port. He was walking on the port, and suddenly someone comes to him and say, listen, you were not supposed to be on that ship, this and this ship. He said, yes, but something happened. He said, you know what happened? This ship drowned, and all the people that were on this ship, none of them survived. So the story says that he took this nail and he started to dance with it. He was so happy that this nail prevent him from reaching the ship. So what we want to say that we don't really know all the miracles that Hashem is making around us, saving us from all kinds of things. Sometimes we're very angry that some of our plans doesn't come out. Yes, something happens. But we have to know that it's a very important thing that we use the word Kol ma she'Hashem oseh hakol letova. Everything that Hashem does, it's for my good. He's my father, he's my shepherd, he leads me, he knows what's good for me. And especially in this month, Chodesh Nisan, this is a special time that Hashem makes us miracles. Miracles in Parnasah, miracles in health, miracles in if someone want to get married, with children, miracles with children. So this is a time that is capable really for big miracles. And we're asking Hashem, of course, that He will show us these miracles, so we'll know, and we'll know that we had a miracle, and we'll be able to say thank you for that. So this is really Chodesh Nisan, and today is the Yortzeit of the Rebbe Arashab, the second day of Nisan, passed away about 100 years ago, Tafresh Pei. The Rebbe Arashab, he was a very righteous man, and he had very, very deep books in Hasidut, in understanding the soul, understanding the world, and he was called the Rambam of the Hasidut. He was so, the Rambam says, I just heard it a few hours ago, the Rambam says that if you learn the Torah, the Tanakh, the Chamisha Chumshei Torah, and you learn his books, the 14 books he wrote, Hayad HaChazaka, it's called the 14 books, Hayad, the hand of the Rambam, you know, he doesn't need any other book. You can really have a view of all the Torah. It's amazing. Of course, it's very good to learn whatever is close to your heart. But if you really want to get a good view of all this, the Torah, that it's so, it said, there's a sentence that says it's longer, Aruka me'eretz midah. It is longer than the earth, the Torah. But if you want to get a good view of all the details, it's the Tanakh and the Rambam is giving you a good view of all these big wisdom of Hashem. Okay, so if we'll have time, maybe we'll tell a story about the Rebbe Rashab. Maybe we'll have a time to learn a piece of his wisdom that he gave us in his books. There's a book, Ma'ayanat Sami Bet Hashem, Ichaltzu. There are many, many books that he wrote and gave us, and we have them. And before he passed away, he said that he's going to heaven and is leaving his book for us. That means that this was his life work, what he did in his life to write the thing he understood and saw, and it's very, very important information over there. Okay.
Moshe.
Yes.
So I'm going to make sure I'm following it. So the Rebbe Rashav, it's a Yortzeit, starting tonight in Israel.
Yes.
And in the United States, we are still on the 1st. So tonight is his Yortzeit. And then he was the which Rebbe? Rebbe is he
was
fifth or sixth?
The father of the Frierdiker Rebbe, of Yosef Yitzchak, the last Rebbe. It's 3 generations back.
Okay.
He passed away in Tafresh Pei. That means it's almost, it's about 100 years ago.
Okay. So in the honor of all the Rebbe's, we have, I just want to work from, so we had 7, right? 7 total?
Yeah.
Okay, we had Zalman, Shneur Zalman.
Zalman, he wrote the Tanya.
And then who was after him?
Rebbe Dovber, Rebbe, the middle Rebbe.
Middle Rebbe Dovber, and then we had Semech Tzaddik.
Menachem Mendel.
And then
we have Shmuel. Shmuel, Samuel.
Okay.
Rebbe Shmuel, Rabbeinu Shmuel. And then we have the Rebbe Arashab, the Rabbi Shalom.
So he's 5. Okay.
He's number 5. And okay, so because it's a Zohar class, so I'll just say 2 very important things about this month. But if we're praying in this month, we don't say Tachanun. Yes, we don't say the part that Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazanu. We don't say Tachon on all the months of Nisan. And another important point, that there's a very special blessing that we say once a year when we go. I don't know how it's in your place, but here in Israel, Chodesh Nisan, the months of Pesach, everything is many flowers. You know, the trees full with flowers. So in this time, the wise, righteous, how you say, sages,
Yeah.
they gave us a special blessing for this month, a very special one. And so we have the chance to say this blessing in this month. It's a special blessing when we see a tree with flowers, a tree with fruit. It can be an orange or lemon or other trees that brings fruit, and we see the flowers once a year. We're saying this blessing. This is a very special blessing. If you want, I can tell you the.
So the first thing we see a tree, we say a blessing.
This is a special one.
Tree that has a blossom and looks beautiful. It's pretty easy to find in Florida and probably pretty easy to find in LA as well.
Do you have in this time of year you have everything is with flowers around you in the United States?
In where I live, yes, but not where everyone lives. But where I live, yes.
Yes. So this is okay. Everyone send it now in the WhatsApp. This blessing, a very special blessing. I just want to say the blessing. 1 minute. It says here that thank you Hashem, and we're blessing you that nothing is missing in your world, and you creating in this world very good creatures. Yeah, I mean, we have chicken to bring eggs, and we have cows to bring milk, and we have sheep to bring wool, and very good trees, and seeds, very special seeds, and bread, and so on, and wine, and good vodka. So and good trees, we have here. That all this was created lehanot bahem bnei adam, that people will have pleasure. I mean, it has to be in the right measure, the pleasure, and in the right time. But all this Hashem created for us that we can use it, and we'll have a happy life. So this is a very beautiful blessing we're saying once a year. And another important thing is that we say the Nesi'im, it's called Nesi'im. It's a part that's written in the Torah that is relating to the building of the Mishkan. If you know, in the first day they gave Shevet Yehuda, the tribe of Yehuda, sacrificed in the second day, and so on. Every day almost until Pesach, we're saying a part of the Torah. It's called the Nesi'im. Okay, this is something that we want to talk about the halacha. So we talked about Chodesh Nisan, we talked about the Yortzeit of the Rebbe Rashav, we talked about few halachot that connected with this special month. And now, if you don't have questions, we'll come into the Zohar and we'll see what the Zohar has to tell us.
As far as the special blessing, we say a different blessing every day, right? We say a different prayer every day. I mean, meaning we have like a special every day of Nisan. We have a an additional prayer that we say.
Yes.
Like,
A special thing that's written in the Torah, and it's called Hanesiim. It's called the part that is relating the how you say Nesiim? It's like the presidents of the tribe brought a special sacrifice in the time they built the Mishkan, the temple in the desert.
okay.
So we said this part, and this is something we're reading in Hanukkah too.
Yes.
So usually in the Sidurim you can find it in under the part that we're reading in Hanukkah.
Yes, I see it. So it's the same as Hanukkah. That's the other part. It's the same.
Yeah, but every day you say only one part. You say Yom Rishon on the first day, Yom Sheni you say the second day, until the 13th of Nisan you say the last part. So yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Why do we have to do that?
So he says there's a very important piece, Avraham, a very nice praying that you say at the end of the part, and I'll tell it if you're asking.
I just wonder if there's a Kabbalistic reason to say it.
Yeah, of course, there's a Kabbalistic reason about it. You're right. And now I'll open it and I'll try to find the special praying you're saying. 1 minute. Yeah, we can copy for you and send you on the WhatsApp if you want.
I sent it already.
What?
I sent it already.
You sent it. Excellent.
In English.
In English, it's better, of course. Very good. So, wait a minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll find it here. Here we are. Yehi Ratzon milfanecha, he says here. Yes, the Yehi Ratzon, that means we're asking that there will be a new will, that Hashem will have. I mean, we know that Hashem is capable, he's endless, and he has all the powers and can do whatever he wants. So he says, let it be that you'll have this will to light our day with your chesed, with your love, with your generosity, on all the souls that are renewing like birds, and they're singing and praising Hashem, and and saying thank you for Am Israel. And he says, please Hashem, please God, get in, and these holy birds, in a way, it's a kind of hint, yes, to a holy place. What it tells about it, that an eye could not see this place except of you, of Hashem. Then let it be that if I am from the tribe of Yehuda, for example, that I read this part of this president today, then these lights will come and light on me to know more, to understand more in your wisdom, in your belief, in your to love you more, to have the right fear from you, and to do what you want all the days of my life, me and my children and my children's children, from now until the end of time. This is a very special praying. Okay, more questions?
No, thank you though.
Okay. So So now today about the Zohar of this week, we're in Parashat Vayikra. I looked in Shabbos, I was looking, the beginning is very complicated. And, I saw something that caught my eyes in chapter 6. In Sefer Vayikra, chapter 6, in page 6. And he says here that Rabbi Acha, Hava Azil Beorcha, Hava Imei Rabbi Yudah. Rabbi Acha was a very righteous man, and he went on the way and he was walking with Rabbi Yudah. Ada Abu Azia Rabbi Yudah de Taninan, Betulat Israel, Betulat Itbarcha min Sheva Dikli Bat Sheva, Ukmoa Bekama Atar, Betulat Tata Yata Sheva Barchot Begina. He says that Am Israel, we are like the Esther, אני קשה לי לשמוע אותי גם ככה. מדבר בכל רם, מבין את השידור פשוט. אי אפשר. So he says here that אם זה מפריע לך, אני רוצה לעבור לטלפון, אסתר, אני לא רוצה, אסתר. רוצה שנעבור לטלפון? So what it says is that Betulat Israel, Betulat Itbarcha min Sheva, it means that actually the Am Yisrael is getting all the blessings, and that's what is called Bat Sheva. הכתיב אתה בן אדם שק קנאה בתולת ישראל, ודאי עלי איתמר כנסת ישראל. ואומר, ודקה שמכל הדחים נפלה לא תוסיף קום בתולת ישראל, וידכאם מכל לחוויה במילדה שפירו. אבל פרשת היתמר באורך נחמה, אבין לאמרי אחי, אבל באי קינה יתמר, והקרא הוכח אחי. The question here is how can you say נפלה לא תוסיף קום בתולת ישראל? How can it be that the sentence says that you can understand that Am Israel will fall down and won't be able to rise up? נפלה לא תוסיף קום. It's something that it cannot be understand. אמר לי רבי אחר רבי יהודה ודאי הכי הוא. והווה קשלי ומילה יתיר מכולם. Because it's like sounds that can be a situation that Am Yisrael will, Chas v'shalom, will fall down and won't be able to rise up. So it was very hard sentence to understand. And we came to Rabbi Shimon, and we came with a very sad face. I mean, here it's written in the Torah that there's a possibility for such a thing. אמר לי רבי שמעון, מחיזו דן פריש מודה מדי בליבך, אמינה לי ודאי דן פי וליבי שבין, אמר לי בדן מילך. Please, he said, Rabbi Shimon said, please tell me what's the problem. I see that you have something that's very hard for you, so please tell me what's it all about. What's the problem? So I told him the sentence. It's written in the Torah, nafla lo tosif kum. That Am Yisrael Chas v'shalom will fall down and won't be able to rise up. And it's very hard for me. Man דאית לרוגזה בדבית ובנפקא מיני, לא תהדר להאמין, יחי ואליבין יתרחו ימי. He says this is very hard. If you say that a person that takes out his wife and his children is divorcing from his wife, and his wife goes away with the children, won't be able to come back. This is very hard to say. אמר לי רבי שמעון, ולא סגי לך מה דאמו כולך הבריה, אמינא להשמע המילה יודע ומרחמי, ולא מתיישבן בליבה. He said, I asked the other pupils, and they tried to explain what, and they said all kinds of things, but it was not really, I could not really, לא התיישב בליבי. I didn't get their explanation. It was not really, it was not good explanation for me. And then Rabbi Shimon explained like this, and he says, Tachazi, come and see. In all the exiles, they had time, an end. I mean, when Am Israel were in Egypt, it was for 400 years from the minute Yitzhak was born. 400 years. Actually, there were 210 years. And the bad time and the very hard time was 86 years. ובכולו הבו ישראל תיבין לקודש הבריחו. And the second exile was in Babylon, in Iraq, yes, and it was for 70 years. So the first exile, the second exile, the time, they knew exactly the time that they're going to be in exile. And then Am Yisrael came back to their place. But now, we're in exile now, after the second temple was burned down, we're more than 2,000 years, and we don't know when it's gonna end. Very beautiful. What he says? He says, Rabbi Shimon explains, what is nafla lo tosif kum? She won't be able to rise by herself. But it doesn't mean that Hashem won't help her to rise up and come out from exile. And that's a very beautiful explanation. And it gives an example here. It's an example for a king that he was very, very angry about his queen. And he sent her out from the palace. And when came the time that he decided, the queen came back to the palace. And that was the way. The first time he was mad at her, the second time, and the third time. But the last time, the queen went so far away from the palace, and it was such a long time that she was not in the palace, that the king said, it's not like the other times that she came back to the palace by herself. This time she's so far away, I have to go out with my ministers, with my generals, with my army, and I'm going to bring her back from where she is back to the palace. And when the king came to the queen where she was at the last time when she was in exile, he saw that she was really in a bad situation. It brings it by the Kabbalah, it's when the Malchus comes down to the world of Bria. The Malchus of Atzilus comes down to Bria, that's called Afar. מנחה ויקרא דמתוני בהוא זימנה, ובאותין דמרגה לכבלי, הדרכי דמלכה בידו והוקים לה, והייתה להיכלי, ולא דו להתפרש מזה להאמין ודוחק מנהל. This time the king didn't wait that the queen will come back and knock on the door of the palace. No, he went out to where she was, and he took her out from where she was and brought her with all the honor, with all his servants and an army and ministers, brought her back to the palace, and he tells her that this was the last time that he's sending her away from the palace. That's something very, very beautiful to understand. Rabbi Shimon explains what's Naflalot Asif Kum B'Torah. He said that means that now, in our time, that this is the last exile we're going to have, and Am Israel is spread all over the world in many places, hundreds and thousands of Jewish souls, and the prophet says that I'm going to pick every one of them, wherever he is. It doesn't matter in what situation he is. This is a holy soul. This is my son. This is my queen. The queen is somewhere away and remote place from the palace. I'm going to go there and bring her back to the palace, and that's going to be the last time that she's going away from the palace. What do you say about this?
I want to say that I want to make sure I'm following it. So we're talking about Israel, right? And Israel has fallen. Is that what you said?
Yes.
But was it a parable? Was it a comparison? I just didn't. Was there more? Israel fallen, but Hashem will come back and help. And this is the last exile. These are the things that I heard, but I don't hear clearly of if there was what the other story was. I mean, what is the setting for this?
The point is, Avraham, the point was that like in the example, when the king is sending away the queen.
Yes.
Because he was angry about her. It's like Am Israel that was in exile because Hashem sent him away. Hashem.
Okay, so basically the queen is the parable, and Hashem sent the Jewish people away in exile, but the queen went so far away. Is this part of the story you said?
Yes, so in the first exile and the second exile, it's like Am Israel is coming back, and they decide that they're knocking on the door of the palace. They're coming back to the palace. They're coming back to Hashem. But in this exile, it's not needed because Hashem is going to go out, like the king is going out and search for the queen. The same Hashem is going to go out, so to speaking, and bring every Jewish soul from around the world back to the palace, back to the place it should be.
Very easy.
Very beautiful, I think.
Yeah. No, I'm impatient, just like you. That's all. Impatient. Patty, are you impatient?
Of course I'm impatient.
We're all impatient.
And we can say another story I found here. About the sentence that comes in Psalms. It says, in Psalms 133, it says, Hine matovu manaim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it's and how pleasant it to sit together, brothers that sitting together. And I think that this is something that the Zohar brings here, and he says, Zaka'in inon Israel, delo yahiv lon kutshabihu lereveva o leshlicha, אלה ישראל, אחידן בי ואחיד בהו. It means that Hashem is taking care of us. It's like, things can be done by messengers, by angels or by powers and so, but no, with Am Yisrael, Hashem is taking us like a king is taking his son, the prince. Every one of us is like Ben Yochid, is the only son that was born to his parents, and Hashem is taking a special care of each one of us. And this is what he says in the Matov U'Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. That means Zakaim Yisrael Inon, El Yisrael Achidan Levo Achid Bo V'Chavidut Adilon Karlo Kuchabrichu Avadim. And because he loves us so much, he calls us his slaves. And that's what he says, Kili Bnei Yisrael Avadim. And this is something very interesting, that you cannot really be a free person, free woman, a free soul, without being connected with the Torah. And like the Pirkei Avot is saying, En ben chorin ela mi sheosek b'Torah. If you really want to be free, because you have to be, in a way, we can say, we have to be addicted to something. So some people are addicted for sweets, the other addicted to wine, or I don't know, or whatever, or to internet. So we want to be addicted to Hashem. We want to be slaves of Hashem. We want to give our time, to give our powers, to give our mind, our everything we have to serve Hashem. This is one of the things that we have to think. And the minute you are in such a situation, you call Hashem slave, David Avdi. King David was called Eved Hashem. Moses was Eved Hashem. It's a title that it shows that you are really devoted to Hashem and to His work. And afterwards, the Vatar kolon banim, banim atem Hashem lokechem. So the first stage, you can say it in another way, that the first stage is being a slave. Then you're becoming a son or a daughter. And then, Levatar karo lei achim, lemanachai v'ra'ai. הוא בגין דקרא לו מלאכים, בעל שבוע מדבר בהוא ולעדים מנהג, כתגידים מה טוב אני שתכם ביחד. The minute he's calling you, in so to speak, he's calling you my brother, my sister, Hashem, the man achai v'ra'ai. The minute you come to a stage that you call in a, yes, it's kind of, so to speak, like Achim LaHashem, brothers for Hashem, then Hashem doesn't leave you. It's a connection that it's a connection that cannot be parted. Okay.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you.
What do we have to do for Pesach?
For Pesach, we're cleaning. We're taking care that, meanwhile, this week is just really cleaning the rooms that are a little far from the kitchen, because we're still eating and when we get close to Pesach, we have to take care of the fridge, yes.
Okay.
Possible to have a special plates and whatever you're cooking with that is special for order new if it's not expensive, if it's possible. Or special ones for Pesach. And to have matzahs, of course, if we can have, especially for the first day, to have matzot that are handmade. It's a little bit more expensive, But we're saying that the matzah, that it's handmade, it's called ma'achala emunah. It's like something you're eating and it gives you health. Ma'achala emunah and ma'achala refuah. It gives you health and it gives you faith. So it's something that we're trying, especially in the first day, to have matzot handmade.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And not forget to sell your chametz. If you have things in chametz, you have, I don't know, vodka and whiskey and other things that you want to keep, you don't want to throw. So just close them in a cupboard and sell it for Chag Pesach. You go to Bet Chabad, you sell it. And after the holiday, you get it back.
Thank you. Thank you, Moshe.
Okay.
Thank you both.
All the best.
Thank you for the class.
Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Here we go. Trying to get this to work. Click.